Alright, here we're going to show you how to fix the door handle on a 2003 Nissan Murano. I believe all the door handles are the same on the four doors, and if you do break them, this piece usually falls inside the door and this falls outside the door. And if you try to buy a new one, they're about $80, or I think they're up to $120. And you don't want to have to pay $120 for a door handle when you can fix it fairly easily. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Alright, here are the two pieces of the door handle on the 2003 Nissan Murano. This piece will usually fall inside the door, so go to YouTube and search for taking the door panel off of the Murano, and it's fairly simple to do. And you're going to have to reach down in there with a clothes hanger or some other device to find this little piece down on the bottom. And once you get it out, you want to be able to hook them back together securely so that they will be able to pull the door handle properly. Alright, here are the parts that you will probably need to fix this door handle. First one is a drill bit and a tap, self-aligning tap. I got these from Home Depot. It's 6-32 NC is the size, I guess. And you're going to need both of those to drill a hole and then tap the hole. Another thing you can use is a super glue. This particular one is bonding system, fuses hard to bond plastic. It's got a plastic bonder activator and then the super glue. It seemed to work pretty good for me. And you're going to need a screw. I used a number 6-32 by 1 inch screw out of a pack of 8 of them. And then you don't need a tape measure, but you'll need a screwdriver with a small tip that I'll show you why you need that. You'll need a vice grip. It works really good for cutting the screw, which you're going to have to grab onto the screw somehow like this. And then another part you're going to need is a hacksaw, so that you're going to have to cut off the head of the screw. And then you're going to also have to make an indentation in the end of the screw for the screwdriver to fit into. And this is what the final piece looks like. It's about a little under 1 inch, and then the end of the screw is cut out with the hacksaw to make it a little screwdriver head bit there. And that's pretty much all you're going to need, and I use a cordless drill to make things easier. Alright, here's I guess the first step, and the first step is cutting the head off of this screw. And the way I do it is with a vice grip. Grab the end like that, lock it on. Then take your hacksaw, support this on some kind of piece of metal out in your workshop or whatever, and then just hacksaw the end off of that screw so that you've got a little under 1 inch long 6-32 screw. Next step is we're going to take this a little under 1 inch long 6-32 screw and hold it in the middle with the vice grip. Lock it on there. Then set it on something hard and take your hacksaw and just gingerly pull towards you back, and it seems to work better pulling it towards you to make this little indentation so that when you finish you're going to be able to stick a screwdriver in there and turn it. Just doesn't need to be a lot because it's going into plastic, just enough to grab it. Alright, you might think like me that you could just use a piece of a cotter pin and cut it the right size and stick it in to the two holes that are in the handle already when it breaks apart, and just stick it in like that and glue it, but it doesn't hold because I've already done that and it fell apart that day. Alright, here we're going to use this 6-32 NC size drill bit and tap for drilling a hole in the plastic and then tapping the threads. And to do this, I grab my cordless drill, put the drill bit in there, and then take the handle, which already has a slot in it, and just gingerly take your drill bit and drill right as straight as you can, level that way and level that way, just straight in there. And it, don't push it hard, it'll kind of feed itself in. And do the hole about, well, it's until it stops, about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or something in there. And that side, and then the same thing on the other piece. It'll have a little part, and you just start it there and let it kind of feed itself and drill on through, all the way through to the other end, because your screw is going to go in this end here into the handle. Okay, now we're going to tap the threads into that hole that we just drilled and try to get that. You don't have to use a drill, you can do it manually, I guess, but this just seems to work better. And you take the tap and stick it in that same hole that you just drilled, and I've got it on 2 just because I don't know why. I don't have to. I can have it on 1 for a slower speed, but then I just slowly drill it right into that same hole, and make sure you're lined up straight that way and lined up pretty straight that way. And again, let it kind of feed itself in there about 1/2 an inch or 3/4 of an inch. Same thing on this one. I start from this end, from the back side, and then screw into it, or thread, do the tap into it so it goes all the way through. Alright, next step is, I've already got the screw started in there. The screw and the head is all the way to the edge, just before the edge. And then what you're going to do is take your activator for your super glue and take the cap off and rub it on the plastic part here to get it activated and ready to stick. And then you can also put it on this other side here. And put your lid back on, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, this next step is a little tricky to do with one person. If you got another person to help you, it might be better. But basically, you're taking super glue and you're sticking it in the hole. I just do it on the side of the handle. Kind of puts them in the hole and then along just this one surface, because super glue works better just on one surface rather than putting it on both surfaces. So you just put it on one surface and in the hole, and then as quickly as you can get your 2 pieces to match, to line up together. And again, if you got another person, that makes it easier. Take your screwdriver and find the little thread part here and just start screwing it in as quick as you can, since that super glue is drying. And obviously you want to try to do it quick. And I don't have my glasses on exactly, so but what you'll do is keep screwing that in and hopefully holding it steady, and you screw it in as far as you can. So now it's even, and you're going to go a little bit further in to give room to put some more super glue on the outside to keep the screw from backing out. So there you go. Hopefully you've got them lined up. The screw's in there, the super glue is sticking already. And then I put a little drop of super glue on this back side to keep the screw from backing out, or if you got some other kind of glue. And then I also, just for extra measure, put some more super glue around the seams here in case it didn't line up exactly right. And then let it dry, and you're ready to install the handle back into the car. And here's the finished product. Not a perfect fit, but hopefully it'll hold for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. And good luck.